Now in ABAP-based SAP system, now we want to know about primary application server instance. So primary application server instance, PAS. So primary application server instance is one of the mandatory instances in ABAP-based SAP system. In ABAP-based SAP system, primary application server instance is one of the mandatory instances. That means compulsory when we are installing any ABAP-based SAP system. That means we use any product version. We are installing ABAP-based SAP system is compulsory. We want to install primary application server instance. So we install primary application server instance in separate system or all instances in same system. Okay. Now we are installing primary application server instance. So inside primary application server instance, after installing ABAP-based SAP system, inside primary application server instance, what is available? So that's now we want to learn. So inside primary application server instance, what is available? So here, dispatcher inside primary application server instance, dispatcher is there. Dispatcher. IGS watchdog is there. IGS watchdog. IGS watchdog. IGS means full form, Internet Graphic Server, full form. IGS full form. IGS watchdog. Next, gateway. Gateway ICM. ICM full form is Internet Communication Manager. ICM full form. So inside primary application server instance, dispatcher is available. IGS watchdog is available. IGS full form is Internet Graphics Server. Okay, IGS watchdog is available. Gateway is available. ICM is available. ICM is Internet Communication Manager. Here in name only they're telling. In name they're telling. Primary application server instance. So here we hide this one and we read this one, application server instance. Application server instance. Primary means we call like that first or main application server instance. So that is first main application server instance. They're telling it is application server instance. So in application server instance, dispatcher, IGS watchdog, gateway, ISM is there. So they're telling I am application server instance. I am application server instance. They're telling here. That's why in application server instance only, in application server instances only, work process is available. In application server instances only, work process is available. Work process is available. In application server instances only, work process is available. Here we saw, here AS ABAP WP table is there. AS ABAP WP table. AS ABAP WP table. That means full form. Application server ABAP, application server ABAP work process table. That is the full form. That is the full form. In shortcut, we called as AS ABAP WP table. In full form, we called as application server ABAP work process table. That means whatever available inside this one, I click here. I click on AS ABAP WP table. Now in AS ABAP WP table, what is available inside AS ABAP WP table? We called as work process. What is available inside AS ABAP WP table? We called as work process. So we called as work process. Work process is available inside application server instance only. So work process is available inside application server instances. Now we see what are the work process is available. Work process. What are work process is available? We see DIA. DIA means dialogue. Dialogue work process. Short full form is dialogue. Dialogue work process. In shortcut, we called as DIA. DIA. Next, UPD. UPD means update. Update work process. What is available inside AS ABAP WP table, we called as work process. BTC. We called as background work process. BTC. Next, SPO. SPO means spool work process. Finally, UP2. Update to work process. So total 5 work process is available. One is dialogue work process, update work process, background work process, spool work process, update to work process. Total 5 work process is available in primary application server instance, and dispatcher, IGS watchdog, gateway, ISM is available in primary application server instance. So in application server instance, so there are so many application server instances is there. First, we install primary application server instance. So in application server instances, first we install primary application server instance. That's why only they're telling I'm main first application server instance. So I am first main application server instance. In application server, first we install primary application server instance only. In primary application server instance, dispatcher is available, IGS watchdog is available, gateway is available, ICM is available, and work process is available. Dialogue work process, update work process, background, spool, update to work process. Work process, why we available in primary application server instance means because it is application server instance. In application server instances only work process is available. That's why in primary application server instance work process is available. In application server instances, first we install primary application server instance only. IGS watchdog, gateway, internet communication manager, internet graphics server, dispatcher, dialogue work process, update, background, spool, update to work process. So these are available in primary application server instance. Inside primary application server instance, so those are available. So that is about primary application server instance is one of the instance in ABAP-based SAP system. Primary application server instance is one of the instance in ABAP-based SAP system. So it is a mandatory instance, compulsory in every ABAP-based SAP system, compulsory. We want to install primary application server instance. After installing primary application server instance, inside what is available, we are loading that one. So what is available inside primary application server instance? why work process is available inside primary application server instance. That's information we are learning. That topic is completed.